we're doing some OnlyFans. I'm going to spare you guys.
We're doing some OnlyFans. I wouldn't phrase it that way, but that's up to you if you're doing something else on the side.
No, if we were doing something else on the side, I'd be driving a Ferrari instead of nothing at all because I don't have a car. We're the poorest podcasters out there. There's no doubt about it. Like, for someone to do it full time, we are making the least amount of money there. And that's actually pretty sad. But I still love it. This is the Courtney Clenney. You know this story, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I know who you're talking about, right? It's the girl who like slapped her boyfriend in that elevator video, and then we watched another clip the other week.
Yeah, dude. And
she allegedly killed him?
Allegedly. I mean, she definitely killed him. Anyway, let's go to Google Earth. Here. Came right up. We are going to One Paraíso.
Fancy. Where is this?
Take a guess. Looking at the coastline here.
Miami?
Yeah, there you go.
I couldn't remember.
Welcome to Miami. You remember that Will Smith song?
Will Smith had some good hits.
I know, dude. He was really good. Mm-hmm. And he's still really good. I do like him. Even though that slap thing. Yeah. I mean, I gotten over it because I know it wasn't,
it was out of character for Will. What you're saying?
Yeah. But also his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. I mean, what the fuck, dude? Seriously. Like, what is that woman's problem? Anyway, let's go. Let's check this place out, dude. This is sick right here. So this is where she lives.
Fancy.
Now, I don't know how much this costs, but this is a condominium. Mm-hmm. And it is right by this lake, which I can't remember what it's called. This body of water is. And no, it's not the ocean. It's not the ocean.
Can't blame me for saying that.
I'll tell you where it's at right now. So, I don't know. Let me see. It's probably saying on Google Earth. I don't know what it is. Anyway, she owns a high-rise apartment building right here facing the ocean. Mm-hmm. Very expensive.
Yeah.
In 2020, she made $1.1 million. And in 2021, 1.8. So she was on the up and up. This is actually where we're going to tonight, that condominium, because that's where the crime took place.
Imagine going from that to a jail cell because you can't behave, Sydney. That's funny.
All right, I'm gonna say I don't think she's gonna get off, but I don't think she's gonna get a lot of time.
Oh, why? Because you think the jury's gonna be sympathetic to her?
Well, so the case, which has not been tried yet,
right?
But it's about to be, is resting. Her defense is resting everything on self-defense, and they do not want those jurors to see those videos of her. But
how would the prosecution not bring those up? They have. It's totally relevant. Yeah.
The judge already said they're admitted. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm saying, let's just get into it. I'm telling you.
Hey, Brandon, welcome back.
You may see that she has a pretty good chance of getting a measly 10 years.
All right, let's see it.
First, let's listen to the 911 call that comes in. April 3rd, 2022. This is in One Paraíso, Miami, Florida. Very expensive condominium. And around 6 p.m., a little before, a 911 call comes in, and this is it.
3101. It's 130.
Ma'am, listen to me. You need to stop screaming on the line and give me the address.
3101.
You gotta die. I can't feel my arm.
3101.
I can't feel my arm.
3131. 3131 Northeast 7 times. Please, God, please. Come see my voice.
Ma'am, is this a house apartment or a business?
127453582.
Is this a house apartment or a business?
Baby, I'm so sorry. Baby.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
If you have a stab wound to his shoulder, can you sit down?
All right, that's probably enough. Break it down for us.
So she's saying he has a stab wound in his shoulder.
Yes.
And she's apologizing. She's saying, I'm sorry, baby.
Exactly. Did you hear him too?
Yes. So he was still alive when the phone call was made. And I heard him say, like, get me some ice or something like that.
Well, no, not get me some ice. He keeps saying, I'm going to die.
Oh, I thought he said get me some ice. Sorry.
So this man's name and her boyfriend for 2 years was Christian Obumseli. We have Courtney Clenney and her boyfriend of the last 2 years, Christian Obumseli. He's Nigerian and she's Texan. He's a Texan.
Okay.
So that 911 call comes in and you can hear Courtney screaming, please send help. My boyfriend's been stabbed in the shoulder. And then you hear Christian repeatedly say, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I can't feel my arm. And when police get there to the high-rise apartment, they go into the room, which I'm going to show you the crime scene, and they find Courtney Clenney cradling a dead Christian Obumseli. That was on April 3rd, 2022. Okay. So
hey, Wolfie.
What's up, Wolfie? That is the overview of the case. But as we dive deeper into it, you can see that there's a lot more to it. You hear her saying, quote, baby, I'm so sorry. And he says, I'm going to die. I can't feel my arms. Now, all right, if you get stabbed, this is for anyone listening here. If you get stabbed or someone stabbed in front of you or someone has a hole in them, immediately put pressure on it. I'm not saying it would have saved his life, but I don't think they did that at all based on how much blood left his body.
Wow. Okay.
So if you were to get stabbed, let's say it's an accident, you cut some glass.
Stab me. No.
Well, you cut glass or whatever and it cuts you, immediately just put pressure on it because there's a hole that is it's like, think of a garden hose. The water is leaking out of the garden hose. So what do? You
need to stop it.
You stop it. If you wrap your fist around that hole, it will stop that blood. It will stop that water from coming out. It's the same premise with your body. I didn't see that they did that at all, but they probably didn't know. I mean, she's 26 now? She was born in 1996. They probably don't know that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so that's what we're doing tonight. Can you read the following from the arrest affidavit?
According to the affidavit, upon arrival, officers located the defendant cradling the body of the victim with an apparent stab wound to the chest. Chief Medical Examiner Kenneth Hutchins, MD, determined that the cause of death was a stab wound to the chest. He found that the victim was stabbed and the knife was punctured in the subclavian artery in his right chest. The knife entered in a downward angle to the depth of 8 centimeters.
Sydney makes a good point. Don't pull it out. If something's stuck in you. Dude, I don't know why they do that in movies, like pulling the knife out. All you're doing is ripping up more shit.
Yeah, they're like, all right, you ready? You ready? I'm going to rip it out. 1, 2, 3. And it's like, you're supposed to leave it in there, actually.
Yeah, no shit. All right.
Let a doctor take it out.
So this is really important. If Christian was just stabbed in the shoulder, he would have lived. He actually was stabbed in the subclavian artery, which punctured through it. So if we look at this diagram right here this is the left side of the body, you see the lung right here. If you're on Discord, what is all these hearts coming in for?
I love it. 2 mistakes today, Nicole. Don't let John's ego grow any further.
What do you mean mistakes?
Oh, I made a mistake about one thing when we were reading headlines and I can't remember. And I just made one now. But like the hearts keep coming. This is great.
I don't understand.
Keep it
Who
coming.
Who are these hearts for?
Me, obviously.
I feel like maybe something fell on someone's keyboard and it just keeps hitting it. All right, so you see the what was it? I saw it earlier. Oh, right here. You see the subclavian artery right here. This is the big old tube that runs down.
Yeah.
Right there, the big old tube that runs down. So that was punctured. And that's an artery. So yes, he was stabbed in the shoulder, and they probably didn't know it was an artery hit. So Clenney stabs Obumseli in the chest just inches above a tattoo of her name.
Oh, the irony.
I know.
Ooh.
I'm going to show you photos of the apartment. The whole thing is covered in blood. It is literally a crime scene. Stupid.
There's like no better way to describe what this is.
Yeah, let me show you these blood stains here. So you can see these are pretty bad. These are the pants she was wearing. They were white. Oh. Look how much blood that is, dude.
Wow.
And then you see...
Wow. I know Shrem's dying to make a period joke from
that. What do you mean? And you see all the blood. This is the apartment. Man, look at that view, too, on that freaking apartment.
I mean, the shades are down. I can't really tell.
I mean, that's a bloody, you see at the very bottom, that's a bloody handprint.
Yep.
But look at all this blood. Isn't that a lot?
Yeah, it's a lot.
I mean, that's an artery hit.
Yeah, that's a lot of blood in a lot of places.
Look at this. I mean, holy shit. It looks like 10 people were murdered in this house.
Yeah, that's a lot in a lot of places.
This is like, I mean, because he hit the artery. You have 2 of these in the apartment. These are actual pools of blood. So he was sitting here at one point dying, and you see another one in here. I don't know if you can see it, but they're...
Yeah, once you get past all the gore, it's really a nice view.
I mean,
Sydney
shit.
Cracking us up.
I mean, honestly, like, dude, it's not like they can tear this down. Like, what are they going to use with it? I mean, I'd fucking live there for cheap, dude. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no one's going to want to live in this fucking apartment, right?
It'll rent back out.
There's the knife. Damn, that thing's serrated too?
Yeah.
God, dog.
Ugh. Oof.
Holy shit. It's like those Cutco knives you got. Those things, man, those things will do some damage.
Yep.
All right. So let's see if this was warranted or not. Let's see if she had a choice to do this. I'm pulling for her. Photos of the apartment show not only Clenney covered in blood, but every room in that apartment covered in blood. Also photographed in the apartment were items like marijuana, prescription medication bottles, and of course the bloody knife. Now this was in the Miami luxury apartment that I just showed you. And this happened while Courtney Clenney was on the phone with her mother during this. So you heard the 911 call video, which was after the fact. But during the stabbing, she was on the phone with her mother arguing with Christian Obumseli. So there's another dynamic here too, because the mother has to testify what she heard, and she's being silent about it now. Okay, so it's a whole thing. This I believe this court case is going to be pretty big in the news.
Evidence shows that Sunday, April 3rd, 2022 began peacefully, with the defendant and victim playing with their dogs in the apartment. At some point, the victim left the apartment and returned with Subway sandwiches for himself and the defendant. Key fob records show that the victim left the apartment at 1:15 p.m. and returned at 4:32 p.m. Surveillance video shows the victim returning to the apartment at the time via the service elevator, with the 2 dogs actually leaving the elevator at 4:33 p.m. At the same time, the defendant finished uploading an Instagram live video to her page. Call records show the defendant called the victim at 4:01 p.m. just before she went live on Instagram, and again at 4:33 p.m. shortly after posting the live video and his arrival into the apartment.
Crazy, right? I mean,
from the past videos that are out there, you know, we're seeing a pattern. I'm not seeing this as a crime of passion or self-defense. So I'm having a hard time mentally going that route.
She made a couple claims that were inconsistent. In the initial police coming in, finding her, she did make some statements that could come back and haunt her in her trial. All right. So she had first claimed that she didn't stab Christian, but she threw the knife. And where she was when she threw the knife was about 10 feet away. Now, the medical examiner says, and you saw the knife, that throwing the knife would not be possible that far away to hit that fatal shot, basically a downward angle, which, you know, if she's shorter, so she's throwing it, there's no way it could be a downward angle in his shoulder like that. Plus, throwing it from that far away over 10 feet, it wouldn't have enough force to completely enter the whole way like it did. So it went to the hilt of the knife. She says that she threw the knife, and also, quote, I really don't know if this was justified at all, end quote. So that's not going to help her on her case. The crime scene photos, which I showed you, we have a condo, 3-bed, 3-bath, private foyer, blood drops in the kitchen by the island, quote, dripping to the master bedroom, bathroom, and then back to the living room. The bloody knife was by the living room couch. The blood trails were going from the living room to the guest bedroom. The guest bedroom, quote, puddle of coagulated blood and blood transfer on the wall, evidencing that the victim collapsed in this room before attempting to return towards the front door. police arrived and she was cradling Christian. The amounts of blood pulled at different levels through the apartment. 2 large pulls showed that he was bleeding out in those spaces. So this, exactly, never talk, lawyer up. So this case is boiling down to one thing. Is it self-defense or is it not? And to decide that, we have to look into the history of abuse and violence in their relationship. We know their relationship started in November 2020, and since its beginning, it's had multiple calls for domestic violence on both sides, multiple arrests for domestic violence. At the time of the murder, One Paraíso, the condo she was living in, management was in the process of removing the couple from the building permanently due to multiple complaints from the neighbors. Even on the murder day, there were calls coming into the front desk saying, my neighbors are beating each other up again. They're screaming. So this is the day before. This video right here is the day before the murder.
Right now, like, I have not always been a victim, but like right now I'm a freaking victim in the situation. I'm scared to go downstairs and walk my dog. I want a restraining order against Christian Abumseli.
So she said right there, I want a restraining order against him. This is the day before the murder. All right, basically what she's saying is, I want to get a restraining order, and this guy is living with me. I've tried to kick him out. He's not paying any rent, stuff like that. But here's the thing. We see Courtney and Christian break up and get back together within hours. And this happens all the time. So that's one of the questions is, were they dating at the time? And friends say they were. Courtney had previously, on one occasion, stabbed Abumseli in the leg and also sliced his lip. So this was not the first time that she's used a sharp object to do this. Security footage shows that Clenney physically attacked Abumseli 2 months before the murder. Now, this was in the elevator, and we saw this, but I don't know if everyone saw it, so I'm just going to play a little bit of the incident here. This was 2 months before the murder. So she gets in the elevator, she's pressing the button, and immediately she starts hitting the elevator control. She has got some fucking anger problems. You can see that. Abumseli gets in the elevator. She immediately starts hitting on him, trying to pull his hair. He's got a braid in the back. She's trying to reach for that and pull it. At no point does he do anything unnecessary to attack her. I think this video shows he's just trying to protect himself and get her away from him. She's hitting him pretty hard here and slapping and stuff like that. Jesus. They get out of the elevator and she continues to hit him. This is an extremely toxic freaking relationship here. Extremely toxic. Police had been called several times to domestic incidents when the couple lived in Las Vegas and Austin. This is an arrest that took place. She actually gets the charges dropped, but she does get arrested here.
Okay. Did anybody punch, hit, spit, throw anything at each other? Did he hit you or you did at him?
Well, I'm guessing that I threw a glass.
Did you remember throwing a glass?
No, I don't. But that sounds like me.
So let me break it down. She throws these wine glasses at him in the apartment. She's arrested for domestic battery. In this interview, you see him crying, basically pleading for the police not to arrest Courtney. We're not going to watch all of it. I just wanted to show you that she's been here before. Okay, so this was the year before. I'm trying to show you that there's a lot of domestic violence in this relationship. Now, keep in mind, the relationship was only 2 years old when
2 years is a long time to be doing that shit back and forth.
No
though.
shit. There were more freaking domestic calls and videos like this within 2 years.
It's crazy.
2 years. They met 2 years ago, right? I mean, it's nuts. Friends and building staff described repeated domestic disturbances, and as I said, the couple was facing eviction. Prosecutors say that Clenney and Abumseli had a, quote, extremely tempestuous and combative relationship. Abumseli, his phone, when detectives looked through the messages, there were messages to several of his friends saying stuff like, quote, love was going to kill me, and once even mentioned her stabbing him. Recordings show Clenney screaming at Obumseli, using racial slurs and threatening violence. As I said, the defense is banking on self-defense, but it's not looking good for her because all the videos we see, she's the attacker, right?
Yeah.
A mutual friend says that Courtney was, quote, extremely easily triggered, which we see that in the elevator. As soon as she walks in the elevator, she starts pushing the button, and when it didn't light up instantly, she starts banging on the freaking control board, right? I mean, imagine being in that elevator when she walks in there and does that. I should be like,
crazy.
What the fuck? Like, what are you doing? Chill the fuck out, right?
Yeah.
One friend of Obumseli says he actually never fought back against the frequent abuse, took the abuse from her, end quote.
And Brandon, I know you said this is scary and close to home. My ex was physical against me. Glad you got out of it. You know?
Oh, shit.
I'm glad you eventually were able to, get out of something so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Being a female, I think she does have an advantage. I'm just going to be honest. Now, there is a racial thing that comes in here, too. A lot of as you'll see, she actually wasn't arrested that night. She was actually arrested in Hawaii, in one of her apartments in Hawaii, 2 months later. So there's a racial concern that comes in, right? Like, if this was switched around, if the roles were switched, would they wait 2 months to arrest her, kind of thing?
Yeah.
So that's going to come into play too. I mean, this trial is going to be pretty interesting to see. And I think it's going to be on that Law and Crime network. I think they're going to see if they can do it. All right. Anyway, so the reason that I wanted to do this story now is because last week there was a video that was released that was new. No one had seen it. Now, this is prior to the murder, but it is I think this video is worse than the
elevator one.
I think this video is worse than the elevator one. So this is the video right here. And I'll put all these on the website. I need to start doing that more, but
You did. I didn't say you fucking touched it.
You said I did.
You were leaning. Yo, you were dumb as fuck. I actually don't agree with you. Actually, I'm done.
Okay.
Can you send him home?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm done.
Okay, fine.
Fucking done. Done. Because you're fucking like.
Can you imagine the freaking neighbors? I mean, she is screaming at the top of her voice.
Fine.
Hopefully, shut up.
You will never see me again. You are the most
good bitch. Motherfucker
I ever met in my life.
Hopefully, you will let me.
Courtney.
Fuck you too. Get the fuck out of here. This isn't even your fucking house.
Yeah, cool.
It's not my house. Like, you're not. Get out. No, that's not even your next time. Get the fuck out.
I know, Sydney. She says, I hate the way she screams. She has like that
raspy voice.
Yeah, it's kind of it is ugly.
Yeah.
I mean, like possibly a little biased, knowing, knowing the outcome.
I do like that voice, though. There's a couple actresses that have that.
The raspy voice?
Yeah. One was, what's that one girl's name? She was on, gosh, she's in my head. I don't know what she was in, though.
What does she look like?
She's hot.
Are you thinking of Scarlett Johansson? Voice is kind of raspy-ish.
Maybe. Who's some...
You think that's hot?
Yeah, I
oh,
do.
God.
Celebs with...
Fran Drescher. Emma Stone.
Yeah. It's Emma Stone. That's what I'm talking about.
The way you treated that fucking girl last night, you fucking embarrassed me. I don't want anything to do with you.
Embarrassing yesterday. I tell you this every day. I have text messages that you say, Christian, thank you for the content.
Shut up! But you don't do it the next day!
Jesus Christ. Jesus God, dog, man.
It's painful to watch.
Yeah. So that's the video that made me want to do this story, dude. You think she's high right there or
Maybe.
something? Holy shit. What'd y'all think of that? That's nuts, man.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I mean, after 2 years, dude.
That's a long time to be dealing with that shit.
No shit. I mean, it was right out the bat, too. 2 years. So this video was actually filmed in Aspen, Colorado in February 2022 and released by attorneys for Obumseli's family. It shows Clenney punching and slapping Obumseli while accusing him of flirting with other women. From Obumseli, he would say stuff like to his friends, quote, "Is love going to kill me?" End quote.
It just might. I guess it did.
A March 2022 audio clip captures Clenney telling Obumseli, quote, "I actually literally fucking want to kill you, end quote. That is not going to look good. However, on the flip side, on April 2nd, the day before the stabbing, Clenney told police, quote, I'm scared of him at this point. But all the friends are saying that it's her that's doing it. And he is just taking it. Mm-hmm. But we don't see, we don't see videos of him doing it, but that doesn't mean he's not. We don't know at this point, right? Her attorneys are arguing that, quote, she had to defend herself that night and, quote, was in a fight for her life. And I think the video of her asking for a restraining order might actually help. I don't know. Photos do show there was bruises on Clenney's body after the stabbing, and those photos were taken by the mother a few days after the incident. That night of the stabbing, they treated it as self-defense, and that's why she wasn't arrested. That makes sense?
Yeah.
There's financial motives here. The prosecutors are claiming that Clenney earned up to $1.8 million a year from OnlyFans. She allegedly had transferred $1 million to her father after the stabbing. So after the stabbing, she moves to Hawaii, and where she still is an OnlyFans creator. And she's now transferring large amount of monies out of her bank account. $1 million to the father after the stabbing. Prosecutors were arguing that this shows that she is a flight risk with means to hide assets. When she was arrested, they were wondering, or they were trying to figure out if they should release her on bail, because she'd obviously be able to post bond. Mm-hmm. She was arrested in Hawaii, August 10th, 2022. She was 26 years old. The arrest was by the U.S. Marshals Service. So the judge has requested to limit the release of, quote, salacious and sexually explicit evidence. So they're not going to be playing the OnlyFans porn videos in the trial when it comes up, because it's not really... Many are reacting to this case based on race. They're concerned with, it's a white woman who killed a black man, and if it was roles reversed, would it have had the same outcome? Mm-hmm. So her defense is claiming she's a domestic violence survivor.
As in, Bumseli was an abuser, or she was a survivor of her previous relationship?
No, they're saying that he was abusing her.
Yeah, I'm not buying that.
And the Obumseli family worries that she may, quote, get away with the killing due to her status, her
white privilege. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. So this is from one of the family members right here.
That's a legitimate concern, for sure.
This is from one of the family members of Obumseli.
It's been a week since my brother was brutally and senselessly killed. Courtney Taylor Clenney's callous actions have not been met with an ounce of remorse. We've seen videos of Courtney kissing her dogs while covered in what we believe to be my brother's blood and casually getting drinks at a hotel bar days later while my brother lays in the morgue.
Hold on a second. Let me show you that video he's talking about. So this right here is of Courtney Clenney kissing her dogs right after the murder. You see her in blood right there. Hold on. Yeah, you see her kissing the dog? Did you see it? Like, there it is. Covered in his blood. I don't know. What do you think about that? Maybe that's just, I
mean, I would always kiss my dog no matter what.
Yeah, me too. That's what I was thinking too. Like, I don't want to like stick up for her, but like stuff like that, it's like,
that's the only thing so far that I would say, maybe not. Just because my dog walks by, I give them a hug, I give them a kiss.
Yeah, I don't think they can
allow her to climb up on my lap. You know? What I mean?
I don't think they should use that in court, because I think it would be stupid. I mean, because you kiss your dog when you're stressed too, mm-hmm. and you need it. So but that's so far the only thing that is I'm giving her a little runway with. Yeah.
The bottom line is inextricably clear. Courtney is being treated differently because of her privilege as a wealthy white woman. Within 24 hours following Toby's death, a detective on the case prematurely concluded that this was not a crime of violence, but the information provided is deficient, and the lack of transparency strongly suggests that foul play is involved. Courtney acknowledges that Toby did not have a weapon.
So it's the family that really pushed to get her arrested.
She has no injuries to support her story of imminent danger. Additionally, Courtney still has yet to explain what happened leading up to his murder. We have every reason to believe that his death was the result of unwarranted and unprovoked violence. We want to see that justice is served. With family, you may not agree with every action or statement made, but it is my duty to zealously fight for my brother other. No family member should have to go through what we are experiencing. We have a long legal battle ahead of us to ensure that justice is served. I need your support. My family needs your support. We cannot do this without community. God bless you all. Jeffrey Umbumselli.
So, I mean, that's pretty much all we have right now leading up to the trial, which it hasn't even been given a certain date yet. It has been moved back, but it's sometime coming up real soon. So, like, what does everyone think, man? Because I couldn't find any definitive proof that he was attacking her.
I think she's going to be found guilty.
There were friends that said it was both ways, but, I mean, we have videos. And the only videos we have is of her attacking, and that one body cam video was of her getting arrested for domestic violence. Like, there was no arrest on his part for any domestic violence, but her attorney is going with self-defense. So, I mean, but those videos, man, are just so like,
yeah.
But I mean, are there other videos of him beating her? I just don't think there are, you know?
I mean, he's not pushing back in any of those, videos that we have seen. So I think it's going to be an uphill battle for her. I actually wouldn't be surprised if they kind of pivot to more of like, she's got emotional problems and she's unstable.
Yeah, but so I think personally, the judge will see that she's unstable, and that would work against her. Because what are they going to do? Let her back out so she can do this again? Mm-hmm. I mean, she is definitely not stable. Mm-hmm. And there were probably drugs. I know they found marijuana, and that's not really a drug, and alcohol. You can see like Patron bottles and stuff like that. But I mean, who knows if she was doing drugs or whatever. But there's some problems there, man. Mm-hmm. There's some problems.
I mean, I'm very curious. I'm sure we'll be staying very close to the, as the trial progresses and all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, she almost got away with murder, though. I mean, she almost did.
Technically, she still could.
She still could, yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't think she's going to be given like life in prison.
I don't think so either.
But she is the type of person. After watching that, maybe you can agree with me. She is the type of person to serve a minimal sentence, get out, and then profit from this somehow, or go back to what she was doing. Well, she would definitely go back to what she was doing, but she may try to profit off this somehow. I've seen that she has no remorse for what she's done. Mm-hmm. Like there are videos of her crying and stuff like that, but you can see through it, it just, you can tell. Wolfie says, I think she's going to be found guilty, as I believe she should be. Shram says, humble brag, it took over 5 years to get my first FU from my partner.
Long time. Good for you.
My ex-fiance and I verbally abused each other, but I swear it was in good humor in equal measure. Yeah, I mean, dude, everyone gets in fights and stuff, but this is something else, man. This is like so toxic. I was in a toxic relationship too, but it wasn't like hitting. It was like the girl I was with was a drug addict and alcoholic, and it was like real toxic because of that. But this was something else, man. This is like, dude, I mean, because think about the timeline. You read that she had just came back with Subway sandwiches, and not even 10 minutes later, he's stabbed while on the phone with her mom. So, I mean, you don't even have time to eat your damn sub. Mm-hmm. I mean, she must have just walked into that apartment door, and immediately they start fighting. Like, immediately. Yeah. I mean, how else would this end, Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I wanted to just do that before the trial comes up, so I know kind of what's going on too. But, I got some good stories coming up this week. Anyway, thanks for being here. And until next time, good night, you lovely, lovely people.
Run this shit.